After the president wrote, "See you in court," Washington's governor said this: "We just saw you in court and we beat you." On Capitol Hill, House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi called the ruling a victory for our Constitution. And Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer asked the president to, quote, "roll up his sleeves and come up with a real bipartisan plan to keep us safe." Major Garrett is at the White House tracking the political fallout. Major, good morning.
Good morning. If there is a silver lining for the White House, and let's face it, legally speaking, it's hard to find, it is that congressional Democrats are beginning to sense the politics of this may in fact favor the president and are now talking much more openly about a legislative solution they can take some credit for. Shortly after the ruling, President Trump told reporters off camera the legal fight is far from over.
It's a political decision, and we're going to see them in court.
The president stood by claims that the travel ban contained in the action is America's best defense against terrorism.
We have a situation where the security of our country is at stake, and it's a very, very serious situation.
Rip up this order.
Democrats on Capitol Hill celebrated the legal victory, but conceded there must be a bipartisan immigration solution.
I hope he gets on board and starts focusing on the real sources of the problems and the real challenges.
I hope the president comes to Congress and says, let's work together, Democrats, Republicans.
Jeff Sessions.
Sworn in at the White House, Attorney General Jeff Sessions vowed to fight for the president's policy.
We'll defend the lawful orders of the President of the United States with vigor and determination.
Later, in a message to the Justice Department, Sessions implied the federal courts got it wrong.
When one is standing in court, representing the United States, there's no place for partisanship or bias.
With this legal clash possibly headed to the Supreme Court, the president yesterday entertained red state Democrats up for re-election in 2018.
I urge you all to confirm him.
And pressed for their vote on behalf of his Supreme Court nominee, Appeals Court Justice Neil Gorsuch.
A lot of people are liking him very much on the other side. And I think that because of politics, perhaps they're not going to vote for him. I think that's a shame because that's not being honest.
One important foreign policy note. Late last night, President Trump spoke by phone for the first time since the inauguration with Chinese President Xi Jinping. And in that call, the president vowed to support the decades-old One China policy. You might remember during the transition, President Trump cast some doubt on that One China policy by taking a congratulatory call from the leader of Taiwan. The doubts about that policy, in accordance with the wishes of the Chinese leader, Gayle, have now been erased.
We remember that call. Thank you very much, Major.